Welcome back. Now, the Rhumbelow Theatre in Durban is all set to host Aldo Brincat's The Moon Looks Delicious From Here production. Now, it is set to be showcased from the 24th to the 26th of February, directed by Sjaka Septembir. Now, to tell us more about this show that has been described as a walk through the magical realism and far-off places, we're joined on Zoom by its writer and performer, Aldo Brincat. Good morning, Aldo. Welcome to Morning Live. I mean, give us a brief synopsis of what The Moon Looks Delicious From Here is all about.
Sure, it's a autobiographical play, and it just kind of looks at how I grew up as a first generation South African. Both my parents came from different parts of the world for very, very different reasons, and they found themselves here in Durban. Got married in Durban, and I was born as a first-generation South African in Durban. And my formative years were very, very wonderful, and in terms of foreign cultures and local cultures. My father was an entertainer and a chef, so it was quite a rich kind of upbringing. But against all of that was this growing anxiety around the tightening grip of apartheid and what it was doing to our country. And then just when I sort of matured into a young adult, apartheid collapsed. And so the play explores, on one hand, the beauty and the charm that I experienced as a first generation South Africa, and the biting pain that was clashing against that in our country.
Aldo, now, why is this story worth telling?
I think it's worth telling because I think we are all, or many of us, I wouldn't say all of us, but many of us are trying to understand what it means to be a South African. I think it's going to be if not already, it's the conversation of the day. I think more and more people today, maybe they have kids here, and then they send their kids to be educated, say, for example, in the United States. There they meet somebody from Asia, and they get married, and then they settle in Europe, and then their children come back here, and it's kind of like, who am I? What classifies a home? What does that mean? Is it where I earn a living, or is it where I lay my head, or is it where I was educated? So even then, you might have a home, say, for example, in Durban, but your ancestry is mixed and foreign. So at what point, and what makes you who you are? Who do you think you are? That's the question that my play explores.
Now, in this play, you embody an array of characters, in and around what seems like a fragile young nuclear family. Unpack these characters for us.
Sure. So I play a range of characters in the style of physical theatre and characterization. I play myself as a young boy, a teenager, and then a mature man. I play my parents who just fall in love. I play my father and my mother, which is quite weird, but it's absolutely charming. And then I play my best friend, a chap called Wayne, who we have this coming of age sort of experience, and then our paths diverge under very sort of tragic circumstances. So all in all, you come away from the production feeling like, hang on a minute, did I just see like 4 or 5 people on stage, or was it just one? And that's part of the charm and the magic of physical theatre.
Now, you use a lot of mime and physical theatre in the production. Why does that work? Why does that concept work in this particular production for you?
Well, that's a very, very good, excellent question, because it kind of works on many levels. First of all, it's my story. So I'm playing all these memories and conversations that have happened to me in my own head. And I'm playing it in a style where all these characters are still within me. So in a way, that's a really brilliant, brilliant question, because in a way, it's perfect for physical theatre and to be played in this manner. If I was directing a movie or if I was doing a full cast production of this play, then I would be casting somebody to play my mom and my dad and my friend and my brother and so on. So in a way, it's even more powerful because all of these stories come from me. They are me. These stories made me who I am. So it's quite magical in that way.
And I also like how you touch on themes, such as language, religion, sexuality, it is also that are heavily highlighted through this play. Tell us more about these.
Well, so for example, for the first 7 years of my life, I spoke French because my mother came from Mauritius and my father came from Egypt. My father could speak 7 different languages. I spoke French. And then suddenly I go to school and I'm speaking English. And then I find out that in KwaZulu-Natal, which is the kingdom of the Zulu, and there's a huge population of Indian people who live there, and the history of indentured labor in KwaZulu-Natal. And suddenly all these languages and flavors and textures are flowing through. And this was at a time not only in South Africa's history that was tumultuous and boiling, but it was also in the 70s and 80s where it was a post-war, people who'd grown up just after the war were asking questions about their parents. How did the Second World War happen? What part did you play in all of that? So, and the liberty of post-war politics and ideologies came through the invention of television, coming through for global culture, freedom of religion, freedom from religion, all of those kind of things. So it was a very, very mixed kind of time to be alive. And that all features in my play.
Yeah. I'm interested in the title, though. The moon looks delicious from here. What's the inspiration behind that title?
Well, I don't know if you've ever had a friend who phones you from Canada or maybe from China or England and says, I'm standing on my balcony and I'm looking at the moon and it's so beautiful. And then you say, I can also see the moon. And they say, what? Is it the same moon? How can that be? And sometimes the moon itself looks different from different parts of the world. The ocean looks different. I don't know if you've ever been to another country that's coastal and you look at their beach and you feel, man, this beach it feels different to the Durban beach that I know. And all of those kind of ideas are compacted into this production as well, on how we perceive ourselves in our location compared to where we were and how that reflects on us.
Aldo, give me details of the production, your times, and what are the ticket prices?
Sure. The production runs 24, 25, 26 of February, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's at the Rhumbelow Theatre, the evening of the 24th and the 25th at 7:30, and then on Sunday at 2 p.m. So it's an afternoon show for those who would prefer to come during the day. And the tickets can be gotten from CompuTicket, and they range from 100 to 160 rand.
Do you still speak French, by the way?
Mais oui, bien sûr.
Aldo, thank you so much for talking to us. Good luck with the production. Aldo Brincat speaking to us about his one-man theatre show that's on at the Rhumbelow Theatre from the 24th. Quick ad break, back after this. Stay with us.